Your next vehicle from Community Motors of Mason City.
Great service from 3 locations: Community on Monroe, Community Motors Westside, and Mason City Ford. 10 new franchises and hundreds of vehicles to give you more choices. Plus, Community offers an exclusive 3-3 warranty on pre-owned vehicles and 10-year, 250,000-mile warranty on new. Need more reasons why? Stop or visit CommunityAutoGroup.com.
Because nobody beats a community deal.
Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, November 27th, and it's 9:45, and at this time I'm going to open up the regular session of the Cerro Gordo County Board of Supervisors. Number 1 and number 2 on the agenda is the agenda and the minutes from last Tuesday's regular session.
Mr. Chairman, I move the agenda for today and the minutes of last Tuesday's meeting.
Okay.
I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion second to approve today's agenda and the minutes from last Tuesday's meeting. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to new business. County engineer.
I talked to Gene Craig yesterday some more. We had met out there a couple weeks ago. He lives over where the avenue came through and on one of the dead-end roads. So we have a road barricade there, and his tenant has some issues getting around that barricade. So at that time, he didn't want us to do anything, but he called yesterday and asked if we had discussed we would put some fill in the ditch so the farm implements could get through, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So the guys should be working on that. And other good news is we applied for the traffic safety funding for the B20 project to continue the last 3 miles, and the funding would go towards rehabilitating the curve. There's been, I believe, 1 fatality there and several car accidents. So we've been awarded $400,000 to go towards that project. And we are going to talk to, there's one gentleman that lives along that corridor right by the curve. We'll probably need to get in the realm of maybe a ½ an acre right-of-way purchase from him just to accommodate the reconstruction of that curve. But I don't think it should be a problem. I made contact with him, and we'll be meeting out on the grade this week. So but that's all I really have to report on.
Okay. Getting anything done on the project that the
B20 project?
blacktop wasn't the best?
Yes, I had the DOTs come out and they've done some non-destructive testing with a falling weight deflectometer is what it's called, so they can gather some field data. And then there is some pavement design software that's rather detailed and involved, quite in depth, and using some of the lab reports we have from the project, we're going to input some information to see if it can provide some information on what we could possibly see in the future and how far out we would see that. So I gave him that information last week, and he's been working on some other stuff and looks at, he proposed looking at it next week, so okay. We should be coming to some sort of agreement fairly quickly, hopefully.
Have you figured out why the shoulder was falling away on B43?
They came out a couple weeks ago, took some soil samples, and they're running tests on that, and then they should be getting me a report. The company, CMT, came out and did some soil collections, some soil sampling, and they went fairly shallow in the roadbed to try to see if the problem was shallow. They said if it's a deep problem with the peat, then it probably is not worth fixing. But in talking to him, he said that they're seeing this sort of stuff all across the state of Iowa with the dry weather. We've had a lot of settlement issues and consolidation of the soils. So we're not the only ones seeing it. It's been quite common. So,
okay.
But that's about it.
Okay. Anything else for Mary? Thanks, Mary.
All right, thank you.
Moving on to item B.
Mary, could you stay for just a minute after the meeting?
Yeah. Okay.
County auditor.
What do we have here?
here,
Claim
a
watch?
huge pile of claims for consideration.
Okay, at this time, I would so make a motion to accept the claims and
Okay.
authorize the chair's signature on those.
Okay?
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion and second to authorize the chair to sign the claims as presented this morning. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say
Aye.
Aye.
aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Payroll.
And I've got payroll for the week ending 11/17.
Okay. Accept the payroll warrant report as of the 17th of November. I so move to accept that.
Okay?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to accept the payroll warrant report for November 17th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
No drainage issues today.
Okay. Moving on down to item number 4, annual urban renewal report from Cerro Gordo County Coordinator. Report urban renewal area. I think that's you, Sam.
It is. House File 2460 was some of the new legislation related to TIF districts. And that brings about some new filing requirements. The state has this new website where they ask counties and cities with active TIFs to report additional information above and beyond what we've had to report in the past. Even though our county corridor urban renewal area is not truly active yet, although debt has been certified for this coming year, but because it exists, even though we haven't received revenue yet, the state is suggesting that we comply with House File 2460 and file some information. The reason is because attorneys are already interpreting that legislation differently. So that's what this is about. This is a sort of modified version of the report that other counties have and cities have been are required to submit to the state. It's just some basic information about the corridor urban renewal area. The attachments will be the ordinance, the urban renewal plan, and a map. A copy of the report. The requirement is that the Board of Supervisors or the Council approve the plan, and then it needs to be submitted electronically by December 1. So with that, do you have any questions?
I don't think, it's just something we have to do, right? It's just
You
a
do.
report we gotta send in.
You do. The report outlines the projects in the TIF so far, and the projects I've outlined are the administrative expenses related to the TIF so far, and then also the urban renewal agreement, that agreement with Red Power, the expenses related to that. So we're not even in that rebate period. That'll be coming down the road. This will be a report you'll have to approve every year, and like I say, the attorneys are interpreting that House file a little bit differently. So originally, we wouldn't have to report for that new state online reporting process until like next year. But because the attorneys are interpreting that differently.
Through a cycle of, because it's still, yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole intent obviously is so that legislators can gather information collectively on a large scale to see TIF activity. So this will satisfy our requirements for that new TIF we've got.
So we have to send the report, and I have to sign it as chairman? or-
Yes, as long as this report is approved by the board today, I will submit it electronically and we will satisfy our requirements.
Okay. Any questions for Sandy? What is your desire?
Desire to approve and accept the renewal report, even though it's the first annual. How can it be a renewal if it's the first one? But anyway, yeah.
Urban renewal report.
Oh.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and second to do the annual urban renewal report that Sandy just presented to us and told us about. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number C, County Treasurer. Pat, I'm gonna just turn this over to you on all of this.
Thank you. I'm not sure if I'm on for a tax abatement. Am I also? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, no, these are all suspensions.
So the tax abatement is not on there. Okay. I deal with that separately. The tax suspensions, I tried to compile a listing that we have done over the last several years, and I took it to DHS for their approval. If these people were still qualified as Medicare, Medicaid, whenever somebody goes into a care facility and they choose to disclose their income, resources, etc., they try to qualify them for state aid. And with that comes tax suspensions. And I only tell you that because the list is only as good as today. It could change again tomorrow. Somebody could be qualified again tomorrow when they're homeowners. So this is the annual listing from DHS, as well as we also have one for Sharon Crawford that we do separately through the Board of Supervisors. Bob Lincoln's office has assisted with me in the past on that one. She has her home for sale. It's not sold yet. The taxes will get paid off then. And then on the listing, I think, is the ones that we have done this year so far. I just wanted to have one master list to work off of. So I'm asking for your approval to suspend these taxes for assessment year 2011.
I'd ask you about item 1, Donald Lynch at 142 11th Street Northwest.
With the $0 amount?
Yes.
Even though their taxes are suspended, they always have the option to come in and keep them paid. They never have to pay any interest. So, or if they qualify for an elderly or disabled credit, which we try to get that done first because that's state money reimbursed to us directly. Suspension, they have to pay back. The elderly disabled, they do not have to pay back. And I believe that Donna was one of those that qualified separately, but she still stays on the list.
You also might want to check the address since there's no 11th Street Northwest in Mason City.
Got it. I'm sure I typed it wrong.
Okay. What is your wishes here?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to, with the obvious correction on number 1, address to suspend as recommended items 1 through 9 under the county treasurer's business.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to do the suspension of taxes on the 9 listed here. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.
Moving on to item D. Fireworks permit for Terry Smithy.
He has completed his application. He would like to have the display on December 1st with a rain date of December 15th. Everything is in order, including his insurance.
Okay. Mr. Smithy lives down by me, and I happened in the office when he come in and did this. We were having a party, so I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be able to do it. So I'll make the motion that we grant him his tax permit.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second for fireworks permit for Terry Smithy. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Item E, agreements and contracts. None. Appointments. You know, we're getting that time of year where we're gonna have to start doing all that, aren't we, Michelle? Item G, correspondence and communications. Anybody have anything they would like to? Okay, last item is adjournment.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.